Let's talk about mental health recovery. When someone is diagnosed with a mental illness, the permanence of the diagnosis is often emphasized in a way that kills hope and saps a person's sense of agency. Most of the time when someone is diagnosed, they'll never be told about mental health recovery, what it is, or that it's possible. Yet, the recovery model is quickly becoming the gold standard in mental health care. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, also known as SAMHSA, is a government agency that defines recovery as an ongoing process where an individual improves their health and their wellness, they live a self-directed life, and they strive to reach their full potential. Notice that remission of symptoms is not a part of that definition. Recovery is not the absence of symptoms. Recovery is the presence of a meaningful life. SAMHSA offers 4 dimensions of recovery and 10 principles of recovery support. To be clear, recovery is an effort of the individual who experiences mental illness. Recovery support is an effort of the persons within a social network who have been chosen by that individual to support them in their recovery. In this video, we will talk about both recovery and recovery support. Let's begin with recovery. The 4 dimensions of recovery are health, home, purpose, and community. If someone is in recovery, the hope is that they will be making choices that improve their health, that they'll be making choices that promote them being able to maintain stable housing. Also, that they'll be engaged in daily activities that allow them to have meaning and purpose, and also that they'll have connections within their community that offer friendship, love, and mutual support. Churches can become platforms for recovery. In terms of health and home, churches often provide support groups, low-cost counseling, and possibly even limited supports that facilitate stable housing. When it comes to collaborating in the mental health care field, the recovery model is a natural fit for the church. So, health, home, purpose, community, these are the 4 dimensions of recovery. Now let's look at some of the principles of recovery support. We won't go over all 10 principles of recovery support, but we will go over 4 that are very much within the function of the church. So we will look at how recovery support is hopeful, holistic, relational, and respectful. Recovery support is hopeful. SAMHSA, which is a secular government agency, recognizes that the very first principle of recovery support is hope. At Christ Church, we call ourselves a community of hope. And as Christians, can anyone claim a better hope than ours? Recovery support is holistic. Recovery support has to address the mind, the body, and the spirit. Fortunately, more and more researchers are discovering the role that faith, spirituality, and communities of faith have as a platform for recovery. People often talk about how historically pastors have stigmatized mental health care and treated psychiatrists and therapists with skepticism. What is less known is that antagonism has actually gone both ways, with therapists and mental health professionals being equally as skeptical of pastors. Luckily, this seems to be changing from both sides, with both Christian ministers and mental health care professionals recognizing each other as vital team members for mental health recovery. So we have covered the principles that recovery support is hopeful and holistic. Now let's look at how recovery support is relational. One feature of relational support as a recovery principle is this: When a person is able to break from past negative relationships and form new positive relationships, their recovery is more likely. More than recovery, the gospel takes root in relationships. Life transformation happens in relationships. John Wesley famously said, "There is no holiness but social holiness." Relational religion is a hallmark of the Methodist tradition. From our founding, relationships have been considered the engine of not just personal change, but of revival movements that transform regions and nations. Finally, now that we have explored how recovery support is hopeful, holistic, and relational, which all align with the mission of the church, let's look at how recovery support is respectful. Respect for the rights and dignity of individuals should come naturally to the church. As a church, we have a basic belief about humans. Do you know what it is? Let me tell you what that basic belief about humans is not. As Christians, our most basic belief about humans is not that we're fallen creatures with a sin nature. Our most basic belief about humans is that we're made in the image of God, and that Jesus' mission to rescue humanity is based on that special status. Our respect for humans, human life, and their well-being comes from our belief that we are made in the image of God. One way that we respect individuals at church is by honoring their privacy. Churches are very open, sharing spaces. However, churches are not confidential spaces. It will sometimes be necessary for a leader or a volunteer to consult someone else in our organization in order to connect an individual with needed mental health resources and support. Guarding privacy is one of the highest priorities as we build a culture of mental health hospitality. So let's recap. Recovery is a process. It is not the absence of illness. Recovery is the presence of freedom, freedom to make choices that lead to a meaningful life. There are 4 dimensions of recovery: health, home, purpose, and community. In addition, in this video, we went over some of the principles of recovery support. In our next video, Mental Health Words to Know, Community-Based Care, we'll learn more about the church's role in supporting mental health recovery. Don't forget to put your questions in the comments below. And if you'd like to share your experience, please remember to protect your own privacy. If the content in this video caused any uncomfortable emotions to arise for you, please contact one of our counselors in the Hope Counseling Center. The number is on the screen. And also, for more resources to support yourself or someone that you love, those links will be in the description box below.